Welcome to Storytime, brought to you by the OWSCyCon2019, the online book event of the year.
Paige settled into a blue cushioned seat overlooking the tarmac outside. Through the glass she could see other flights coming and going, jets taxiing to white air bridges, baggage handlers driving the bag carts to an aircraft. All around her, people moved about with chatter and crying children. The smell of fast food bags carried onto the plane and instant coffee blended with the exhaust carrying through the onboard fans. People settled in their seats with earplugs, paperbacks bought inside the terminal, and rustling newspapers. There was no turning back now. A businessman settled next to her, nodded and pushed a briefcase beneath the seat in front of him. "Going home?" "A visit. You?" "Home after 3 weeks away from the family. My 6-year-old keeps calling and asking if I'm home yet." He chuckled. "I think she's more excited about the surprise she knows I have than seeing me." Paige laughed. "I doubt that." "Then you don't have kids," he said, grin wide. He shifted in the seat. "I hate flying. Always makes me nervous. How about you?" She shook her head. "Doesn't bother me. Although, I guess I need to be honest. It's been a good 10 years since the last time I was on a plane. It's like riding a bike. Unless you're scared to fly, then it's more like boarding the Titanic every time you enter the friendly and expensive skies. Thank goodness for an expense account." Paige smiled and turned to look out the window. Clear skies and nice weather all the way to California, according to the weather report broadcast on the terminal television. Should be a good flight. A very long, good flight. The Boeing rolled across the tarmac and Paige watched the ground speed by through a small oval window. 35 years and she was flying away from it all. It was easily the craziest, most adventurous thing she'd ever done. And somehow it felt like the most right thing she'd ever done. The jets whirled, and with a quick bump the flight was airborne. Closing her eyes, Paige drifted off on thoughts of all that was to come. A quivering cabin and bone-chilling wail woke Paige from the shallow doze. Groggy eyes glanced first to the businessman gripping the armrest and then out the small window. A burgeoning flame lit the wing with a trail of heavy black smoke. She jumped forward in the seat, heart frantic in her chest. Paige stretched and searched for signs of land. Billowy clouds mocked her fear. No ground, no safety. Frantic, Paige turned back to the inside of the plane, searching for assistance. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your pilot speaking. We ask at this time that you buckle your seatbelts and follow the directions of your flight attendants." The plane jolted and dropped forward. Oxygen masks dropped from overhead compartments and screams ripped through the air. Paige yanked a mask down, wrapped a strap around each ear, and gripped the armrest with white-knuckled hands. Her eyes locked the pamphlets sticking out from the chair pockets. Images of passengers with heads between their knees begged her attention. Do this. Do this now. Paige bent over and clasped trembling hands around the cascading tresses. Turning her head, she looked past the businessman to a child pressed against his sobbing mother. Paige guessed the boy had to be no more than 6 or 7. Little eyes orbs of terror as he looked at her. She attempted a smile and hoped it resembled a glimpse of hope to the frightened child. The boy clawed at his mother's arms, and Paige turned away. The plane lurched to the left. Overhead compartments popped open, bags and laptops plummeted into the aisles and hit shrieking passengers. "We're going to crash." The thought seared her mind with steady, quiet certainty. Where were they? What ground would be meeting them? Mountain? Water? A farm field? Did it matter? Kellen's face flashed before Paige's eyes. The single green eye and single blue eye, the brilliant smile, the face more enticing than his famous brother's. Thoughts bounced back and forth as her rear rose off the seat and pressed against the tensing seatbelt. How he wasn't famous, how he wasn't the actor like his brother, and how she wouldn't have had the chance to fall in love if he was in Gray's place. The phrase swiped at her thoughts, fallen in love. Now she'd never be able to tell him. Paige closed her eyes, focusing on the image of him reaching a hand out as something nearby exploded. A deathly silence swallowed the plane. Time slowed, stopped. Paige Reed blacked out.
This storytime was read by Virginia Carraway Stark and brought to you in conjunction with the OWSCyCon2019. OWSCyCon runs from May 17th through May 19th. You can find us at OWSCyCon.ourrightside.com. Again, OWSCyCon.ourrightside.com. We have events happening across all genres. If you are a reader, you cannot afford to miss this event. You never know. You may just find your next best read.